And we are live on Facebook. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. We're so happy to be with you today. Here in this studio with me is the beautiful Sharon Rhea. Sharon, hello and good morning for you, right?
Yes, it's morning for me, Terry. Good morning. Thank you. I am a stand-in today for our lovely creator, Ruth Anderson. Today is day 22 of the Enlightened Women, Enlighten You Summit. I am honored to have my dear friend Karen Palmer's video today and live here as our guest. Karen, would you like to say hello?
Hi, everybody.
All right, and Terry Angel, my dear, dear friend, is here also to set the intention for our time together. What do you have for us today, Terry?
Thank you, Sharon. It is an honor to do this every day here on the live. So every day we touch our heart center. So just go with me and slow down your breathing. Breathe in slowly. Let your body relax. Breathe it out. And then the next breath in, add in gratitude. Let's all get in a state of gratitude today. Ah, that feels good. So continue your breathing as I read our intention. Our intention today is to allow more kindness and compassion to flow to us through the love of Divine Mother and Archangel Michael. May we let go of judgment and fear and realize that only love is real. May we choose to live in a playground where our soul is free to express itself with childlike wonder, ever marveling at the newness of each moment. May we all join together in the common goal of peace on earth, knowing that this is possible in our lifetime by choosing to elevate each other. And so it is.
And so it is. Amen.
Okay, so I am going to stop my video and start the wonderful interview with Karen.
I don't see this on Facebook Live anywhere.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ruth Anderson with Enlightened World Network. Welcome to this episode of Enlightened Women. So grab a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage, just settle in and join us. Enlightened Women is a show about women who are living lives, walking in alignment with their soul's calling. In these episodes, we not only talk about what these enlightened women are up to, but what their latest learnings as a spiritual being having a physical experience are all about. Today, I'm so pleased to welcome Karen Palmer. She's a best-selling author, spiritual medium, online talk show host, and nonprofit business leader. Karen, welcome, and thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful to be here also.
Karen, you have done so many things. Do you want to share with us some of the things that have brought you to this place in life?
You know, I've always had my multisensory gifts, so I've always been really experiencing a multidimensional existence. And so I've always had these beautiful helpers, my angels and my guides, and I've always been really, really grateful for the work that I get to do, because it's a co-creation with the universe and it's a co-creation with the angels. I love to be able to work with children and animals. I'm very passionate about helping the voiceless have a voice. And a lot of that has to do with my situation as many years ago, I was a survivor of domestic abuse. And so I have a lot of empathy for being with and real passion for ending violence and poverty. I really feel that those two things go together, and if we can help to create a world that works for all of us, we're going to really wipe out violence and we're going to wipe out poverty. There's more than enough for everyone. There's more than enough for everyone.
Karen, as a light worker, I think that people tend to have the impression that we sit around in a state of kumbaya and meditating all day long, and that nothing can impact us negatively. But really, we are spiritual beings having a physical experience.
Definitely.
And in so doing, we are in body and we are impacted by the same things that everybody else is impacted by. The weather and politics and the news and all of that. What is it really like for you day to day being connected with spirit, but also living in a human body?
I think that that's really, really the dance, isn't it? I think what we do as spirit beings, being love and light, just having this temporary human experience, if we just take a breath and we remember, I have the stop, I say spirit, take over, please. That will pull me down, and I'll usually place my hand on my heart if I'm starting to feel overwhelmed or frustrated or irritated about something. That means I have stepped away from my true self, and I have stepped away from my magnificent self. And in that moment, I'm going into my human self. And there's nothing wrong with being your human self. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Like the angels have said to me over and over again, you get to have emotions. You asked to come here. You wanted this experience so you could experience all aspects. And so that's really what a lot of my practice is, remembering I am love and light, having this human experience. And at times, if I get a little overwhelmed, I'll just say, stop, spirit, take over, wait, W-A-I-T, what am I thinking? And I stop myself, almost pure sentence, think, right? Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And is it kind? So using those acronyms, stop, wait, think. You're really going to be able to get out of the amygdala, the part of your brain that's in fight, flight, and freeze, that's part of our experience in being a human. I think what my empowered empathic gifts are is I've learned how to self-regulate and self-soothe and self-compassion and self-kindness. I don't beat myself up anymore. I try really hard to be as kind with my words to myself as I would to my own daughter, to somebody that I love. I used to be very critical, very self-critical. Like, why'd you do that? Why'd you say that? Kind of really hard on myself. And I learned that, we have 60,000 thoughts a day. And many of those thoughts are the same thoughts that you thought the day before. And so if you start to become conscious, because a lot of times we're not conscious, we're just going through the motions, we're just going through the day, we're just pushing through. And if you start to notice, this is what I do with dog training too, it's the same thing. When you start to notice just a little bit of excitement or a little bit of nervousness or a little bit of that energy, don't let it unravel. If it starts to unravel, then just bring it into your heart and say, wait, stop. What am I thinking? Do I want more of this? Do I want more of this? No, I don't. I don't want more of this. So how can I start to be kind and generous to myself? And then that will ripple out to the person that I'm talking to the situation that I'm in. And then it's all about having compassion. And compassion and kindness always starts in your own heart. It can't start anywhere else.
One of the things that I really do keep in mind whenever I have a conversation with someone, whether it's somebody in the grocery store, you go to the bank, I have the ability to make that person's day just a little bit better or a little bit worse. I have that ability.
Yeah.
And I really do try to help make somebody else's day just that much better. It's really so easy to do.
Yeah. I love it. It's kind of like a game for me. I love doing that too, Ruth. I'm glad you brought that up, because I love to get people out of their busyness and really connect with them. You know, like holding the door open for somebody. Instead of just holding the door open, I will hold the door open and smile and look them right in the eye and ask them how their day is. And sometimes people just get a little kind of like, whoa, they're a little shuffled, like, oh, you know, thank you. I'm good. And the same thing when you're talking to a clerk or the bank teller or somebody that you know, we're all one. We're all having this human experience. And if we just take that extra moment, we are adding to the love and the light on the planet. We're adding to that. We're every moment that we are being kind and raising the vibration. One person that vibrates with love in their heart, with peace on their mind and kindness in their action, counterbalances 750,000 people who are in the low vibration of shame and blame and bigotry. Those energies are fragmented energies and they're not connected to source. So when we're connected and we're being loving and kind, even to ourselves, we're part of the whole, right? So when we take a moment and we say, oh, you know what? I really want a cup of tea right now. I could really go for a cup of tea. And you don't just barrel through it and say, oh no, I gotta get to this, that, and the other thing. And you sit down and have a cup of tea. Even if you're frustrated or irritated or feeling overwhelmed by stuff, if you just sit down with that cup of tea and allow those feelings to just kind of wash over you and just say, oh God, you know, there's two ways to trigger compassion in us. And the first way is to just go touch yourself. Give yourself you can give yourself a hug. You can bring your hand to your heart. This is all science. This has all been proven. Kristen Neff is somebody I'm very, very excited about bringing her work to the children. It's all about self-compassion. And I really believe that if we stopped seeing self-compassion and self-love as selfish, we would have a completely different planet. So bringing your hand to your heart, just being conscious, bringing your hand to your heart, that gets you out of the busyness of your head. And it literally takes you, neutralizes the brain. So your hands are on your heart. You're bringing that coherence from your heart to your brain. So you're bringing that connection. And then just give yourself that sweet little, oh, this is hard. You know, be kind. This is hard. I really, really am having a tough time with this. And just being that kind and compassionate to yourself, it's going to start to ripple. And it ripples and it ripples and it ripples. And before you know it, you've got a global kindness revolution happening. It's that simple. You know, I started doing global meditations online for inner peace, for world peace. And it was because I read that in Power versus Force by Dr. David Hawkins, that quote that I just shared, the statistic, one person, because I was feeling really frustrated and I was feeling like, we need more kindness in the world, right? We need people to be more kind. But that's a judgment right there. And if I think that there's kindness missing in the world, it's the kindness that I'm not sharing. So that's how I started doing live streams, and that's how I got started being mindful media mom. And, you know, it's really how this has rippled. It really rippled. 10 people I started with. We had 10 people in the show when I was doing on Periscope before Facebook Live was even being done. I was one of the top hosts on Periscope. But it all started with me just hopping on and starting doing a daily show. And at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, we would do a global moment of joy, and we would do a meditation about joy and raise the levels. And I would explain about how when we come together, we're raising the frequencies. And 2 of the top channels saw me doing my own show. And at the time, Love in Action TV and Global Meditation Scopes were the top channels on Periscope. And that's connected with Twitter. So I just blew up. Everything just went like skyrocketed from that, because they asked me to be a host on their shows. And they already had a huge following. This is what I mean when you trust spirit and you don't get caught. The angels, it's let go of the how, be ready for the wow. Archangel Jophiel has been such a beautiful, beautiful friend to me. And that's the thing. These archangels are friends. They're our friends. They're not something that's, they don't want us to think of them as hierarchy, or they want us to know they're our friends. They're here. They came to this plane, this planet, to help us humans to be able to really navigate this human experience. And the angels are here to help us.
I absolutely agree with that. Now, Karen, how do you get your information from the archangels? Do you go into meditation? How does that work for you?
It actually comes to me through many, many channels. If I'm in nature, I will get messages, like when I'm out just walking the dogs, I will feel, and I'll grab my phone, I'll hear a song in my head. I get a lot of my meditation time. I do have my meditation time. I do yoga in the morning. I'm also an Akashic Records reader. So I go into I actually go into my Akashic Records before I do my yoga. And I ask, is there a life experience that could help me in what I'm challenged with right now? You know, whatever I'm being challenged with, I know that there's a part of me that hasn't gotten the full experience, because I really believe that things come up to the top to be transmuted. And so if something's coming up and I'm going, wait a minute, I've already learned this lesson. This isn't possible that this is coming up again. I have to just take a minute, ask, okay, wait a minute. There's something here that is wanting to be expressed, and I need to be still and quiet enough so that I can hear it. So I think that a lot of the way I receive is just being still and being in nature, I love being by the water. I love just being with my dog. I love being with my cat. I feel that sometimes it'll come through when I'm washing dishes. If I'm still and I'm quiet enough, it'll come through. If I'm crazy, busy, chaotic, I feel like I'm alone in this world. Why I keep my practice. You know, I do my practice. I think of my practice as, you know, my sanity in this insane world. I need my practice to keep me sane. My husband calls it my medication instead of my meditation. And I laugh at that because it's true. It is a form of medication. It really, I think that it totally changed my life when I learned about how to transcend this physical body and understand the power of my mind, the power of my intention, and how I can co-create with the angels and co-create with the ascended masters. I love connecting with the ascended masters because they've been in a human experience, right? So they're there, they're available, they want to help us. So if I feel like I'm needing guidance, a lot of times I'll call in Lady Nada. Lady Nada works with the children, and she has a lot of beautiful, beautiful energy that helps me. So I'll call in the energy that I feel could be the best and most compatible with my frequency at that moment.
You shared with me, before we got started here, a calling that you do to call in your spirit guides. Would you do that with us for a minute here?
I would be honored to. This is an ancient Sanskrit beautiful tuning. It's a tuning. I kind of feel it's like a tuning fork. Like I'm a tuning fork, and we're all bringing that tuning energy in. And so what we're doing is we're calling in our guides, our masters, our helpers, our ancient teachers, and we're asking to be our best possible version of ourselves. So I start my day with this mantra, and it's Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. And I feel that sound is a frequency of healing. And so when I sing this, I bring my hand, you bring your hands into your heart, and you just drop the thumbs into the breastbone and sit up nice and tall. And when you do that, you're actually neutralizing the brain, and you're quieting all that inner chatter, and you're really starting to bring in the energy. So I close my eyes so that I'm not distracted. And I take a deep breath. Om Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudev Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudev Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudev Namo. Once I tune into me, I'm free. Into me, I'm free. Into me, I'm free. So I translate it into English. I take a lot of the Sanskrit. That's why I design musical coloring books, and I like to take ancient, and translate different languages into English so that we can see that the message is the same, though the words we speak may differ. That, every language has a beautiful, beautiful way for us to connect with the divine. And there's just, it's basically every religion that has had a master teacher and had an avatar that was here, that was teaching, that it's all based on the golden rule. It's all based on treating people and the earth the way that we want to be treated. And so to me, using these mantras, that's a mantra that is calling in when I tune into me, I'm free. I'm not trying to be anything in my labels or trying to be anything outside. I'm me and I'm free. There's another one that we do, Om Nam Gana Pataye Namaha. And that's when you feel, I really need these obstacles moved away from me. So using these ancient gifts, they're gifts, and they help us so much. We are an energetic force here in this human experience. And when we can really start to navigate all of the experience, then we have our GPS pointing towards more joy and more focused on what we want and not what we don't want.
So Karen, we really are spiritual beings having a physical existence, which means that there are struggles sometimes. Do you struggle too? You sound like you have it all together. You sound like you're this amazing ambassador for the archangels and bringing together world compassion and world peace. But you, in a body, do you still have struggles yourself?
Absolutely. I struggle with a lot of the human aspects of myself. My own daughter, who's 23 years old, doesn't resonate a lot with who I am, and we can't have deep conversations. That makes me really sad in my human self. But I also realize that we do have other ways that we connect. And, so it's a struggle sometimes to be in these higher frequencies and to sometimes just try to kind of come back into this physical experience and pay the bills and do the laundry and get the things done. But I really believe that I call in Archangel Michael, Lord Michael to the left, Lord Michael to the right, Lord Michael above, Lord Michael below, Archangel Michael, be with me wherever I go. And then he's there, the energy's there, and I say deflect away any energies that are not for the highest and best good, and please amplify the energies that are for the highest and best good. And I just have to change my terminology with my daughter. I have to, she's in a space where she can't hear what I'm saying. And there's a lot of people on the planet right now who are in that space where they actually can't hear what you're offering. And that hurts me as a human. But I also am very tolerant to the fact that that hurts me. And I'm gentle and kind to myself about that. And I'll let myself cry. I'll let myself be mad. I'll let myself feel left out. I'll voice what I'm feeling. And I'll say, you know, that wasn't very nice. That didn't feel kind to me. And she'll say, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to make her wrong. I'm speaking the truth. And I've made it to the point now that I have too much respect for myself and too much love for myself to allow anyone to speak to me unkind. Anyone. Nobody needs to put each other down. Nobody is better than the other one. Even if you have more money, even if you have more prestige, even if you've had more experiences, nobody is better. We're all in this together. And if we could just understand that and get that, and we're going to realize there's going to be times that people aren't going to be able to have the same kind of conversation with us. And that's okay. Because there's different energies and there's different ways. Like some people really resonate with the energy of the turtle, and they love being down on the ground and they see things in a turtle way, and that's the way down, this is where it is, down to earth. And then there's people who are kind of like giraffes, and they actually see a vision that the turtles just can't see. And that's okay, because we're all having this human experience and we're all awakening in our own time, space, reality. And so when I try to talk to my daughter about DNA codes and try to talk to her about activating her chakras, and she does come to my yoga classes, she does find it interesting. But as far as saying Archangel Michael's here with us right now, or I'm an EFT practitioner also, so you know, the emotional freedom technique. So if I see her having a tough time, I'll say, just tap right here, just tap right here, and she'll go, oh God, she'll roll her eyes, oh no. But honestly, it's that quick though. You can use these tools, and if you want to use them. So yeah, it does get hard. There's no question about it. Being a human is not for the faint of heart, but we chose to come here.
Right. I love your analogy about the turtles and the giraffes, because I know for me, when I was really getting into understanding spirit and understanding energy, I personally wanted a mentor so bad who could explain to me what I've been experiencing and where this might go. And I didn't have anybody that could do that. And it took me about 3 years before people, women, a couple of men, but mostly women, were brought into my world that I could really connect with. But boy, the importance of having community and the importance of having somebody that you can have those conversations with of, gosh, this is what I learned today in meditation. Have you ever experienced anything like that? How important is community to you?
It's everything. It's everything. And you know, I wouldn't be anywhere where I am right now if I didn't have the global family that I do have. And so I wouldn't have the courage to speak the way that I do speak, because I have that backing, and I know that my global family has my back, and I know that they're part of the universe, and the universe has my back, and the angels have my back, and my guides and my ascended masters have my back. Finding that community was a real struggle. And for many, many years, I was constantly looking for confirmation with my gifts. I was constantly giving people books, telling them, read this book, just read this book, and then you'll understand me. Read this book, and then you'll understand me. and now I realized the angels have helped me so much. They said, you humans love confirmation. You also love to complicate things. And when we give you the confirmation, you're constantly second guessing the confirmation and saying, was that a sign? Oh, was that feather a sign? Or something will whack you right in the head. And you'll go, angels, was that it? Was that the message? And so I totally relate with what you're saying there. Community to me is the secret to my success. It's global kindness going viral. The fact that I have the following that I have and the people that I have online and the online presence that I have is because people who came into my shows felt seen and heard and felt safe to share and opened up and started to say, yeah, me too. I have that feeling and I want to be supported and I feel like this is important. And that's what community to me is all about. Unity is in the word community. And unity to me is about every place, a place where everyone belongs. So our channel that we created on Facebook, Spirituality Gone Wild, is a place where everyone belongs. I call it the web of love, WEB, where everyone belongs. And there's a web and everyone fits in that web because we don't care about your spiritual beliefs. We don't care about your sexual preferences. We don't care what your political beliefs are. We don't talk about any of that. All we talk about is compassion, gratitude, joy, love, kindness, and peace on earth. And if that's something that you want to have more of, then that's the community that we have co-created. And I think that that's what it's all about. It's a co-creation. When I made the wish for global kindness to go viral, I had no idea how to use any kind of technology. I had no idea how to use social media. I was as ignorant about using technology as probably most people feel when they get started with being able to send an email. And I was able to post a post on Facebook, but I literally had to have my daughter help me upload my first YouTube video. I had no idea how to do it. And so I have so much compassion when somebody comes to me and they say, oh, Karen, I have this big vision and I have this message I know needs to get out into the world and I don't know how to use technology. I say, that is just a limiting belief. The angels will help you. Your guides will help you. Everything will come together. That's how I ended up calling myself an angelic marketing strategist and a sacred social media expert, because I knew that would resonate with my audience. And that audience is my family. And the people who we are connecting with is our community. And I think we need to feel safe. That's why I'm so passionate about being in the schools and starting at a young age. Children need to feel safe enough to be able to express themselves creatively, however they are needing to express themselves. They need to feel safe. And no matter how old you are, you always want to feel safe. You always want to feel safe. And basically, if we realize that every person on the planet really wants to be happy, wants to be healthy, wants to feel safe, and wants to be in peace. And we see that like in every person, that even somebody who's being hurtful or they're trying to get their needs met somehow.
And I saw that you just enlarged your community even a little bit more, because now you're with Angel Heart Radio.
Yes, I am.
That's very exciting. So Angel Heart Radio with Anaya Joy Holili out of Australia.
Yeah. And my show is Be Your Magnificent Self with the help of your angels. And I feature people who are, like you said, walking the talk, They're not just sitting around and saying kumbaya and holding hands, and they're literally spiritually activists. I really believe that when we are spiritual activists, that means that we are the sacred walking beings helping to bring divine love and wisdom to the dark places, the places where it's dark. We are the light. And so at times we have to go into those dark places to help those that don't have a voice. That's why I work with animal rescue. And it's why I'm so passionate about helping animals, because with my gift, I have clairvoyance. And when I put my hand on an animal that's been abused, I'm not sure if it's because I was abused and that I have this, but the gift I have is I'm able to actually, like a movie, see what they've been through and really validate that experience. And within 2 to 3 weeks, I'm able to help them step back into their greatness, back into their magnificence, helping them 100%. We have a 100% success rate of getting them a forever home. And the work that I do with the animals is so, so important on the planet.
What is Spirit working with you on these days? What are the learnings that you're getting right now?
Education, transformation for the culture of peace. If we want to have a culture and we want to have a society of peace, we need to transform our education system to one that is teaching kindness and compassion, not competition. We need to be teaching about cooperation and collaboration. And we need to be teaching children how to self-regulate, how to self-soothe, how to empower them with kindness and compassion. And I've written a musical and an entire year-long program that goes into the schools. And my nonprofit organization is working with many, many other nonprofit organizations to take sound bites of these very, very difficult concepts and make them digestible and easy to understand for a kindergartner or a preschooler, and helping these children to really realize that they are part of the solution, and empowering them into having choices that are beneficial for the planet, for all. And if we raise them this way, the Dalai Lama has said, if we raise our children this way, beginning as 5 years old, we would wipe out violence and poverty and suffering in one generation. One generation. We would wipe out all of this violence. We would wipe out. It's happening, though. It's really happening, Ruth. We just need to keep our focus on the people who are doing the work and not listening to our mainstream media, and really keeping our focus on posting things that are about what's helping the world. We're either being part of the solution or part of the problem. And if we're part of the solution, we're focused on what are the solutions. If I just go around saying our education system is just so corrupt and it's a mess and it's never gonna get any better, and everybody wants to complain and blame somebody else for it. Oh, it's if the superintendent would just listen, or if the school boards weren't so corrupt. And, no, that's not true. Everyone is part of the solution or part of the problem. Those are the only two choices.
Karen, we need to wrap up here, but
Yeah.
Can you talk to us for just a minute about your latest book, Global Kindness Going Viral? Can you share that with us about that? And it is available on Amazon.
It is, yeah. And you can also go directly to the link globalkindnesstv.org/book, and that'll take you right directly to the link. That book was when I made the wish for Global Kindness to go viral back in 2014. This is my step-by-step playbook. It's like my Rolodex of all the people who helped me along the way. So I literally give you everything that helped me to give you the playbook that takes you play by play on all the different things that helped me on this journey so that you can take your message to the masses and really get that message out. I also have a free gift that people can get that's over $300 worth of free gifts that is part of the experience. Is globalkindnesstv.org/dream. And it's a roadmap of everything that I went through, from going homeless to being a kindness leader. Everything. It's the journey, step by step. I take you through how to, first of all, work through your visibility fears. If you are wanting to get your message out to the masses, you've got to get over your visibility fear. That's one of the biggest things. I help with people with their inner child. So I help you to heal that relationship with your inner child so that you can be your magical child and you can live in this human experience, not as a prison, but as a playground, right? We get to choose. So those are my real passions, is helping people to take these beautiful, beautiful lessons that I've learned and look at those as blessings. Take this as a roadmap so that you don't land in potholes and that you can just say, oh, this makes sense. Wow, this makes sense. In my book, I actually give you links to people who helped me on Fiverr, which is fiverr.com, that helped me I had to learn how to publish a book. I had to learn how to get the cover of a book made. I was being told by the angels I was going to design these musical coloring books. I'm not an artist. I had to find the perfect illustrator who could see my vision, and I have that now. And so now I'm working on conservation and educational musical coloring books. And so, the angels, they put it into your heart, and then it's up to us to take those next steps and look outside. So I've taken all the guesswork out and given you everything that you could possibly, and it's discounted at $11.11. So you can get that book for $11.11 on Amazon.
Great. I love that number. Walking with Spirit. That's great. Thank you so much, Karen, for being here with us. If somebody wants to learn more about you and more about your work, where should they go?
Everything is pretty much located at globalkindnesstv.org. Everything that I spoke about is there, all my books, all my coloring books. I also designed a board game that's called Let's Save Our Earth, which is an environmental education board game. I also designed musical coloring books that you can get on Amazon. Also, that's all under Global Kindness Going Viral series. So I also helped other organizations to get their message out. And everything's pretty much right on Amazon. My page is Karen Palmer. Everything is under Global Kindness Going Viral. You can find me on all social media as Mindful Media Mom or Miss Kindness.
I love that. Karen, I can't thank you enough for being here with us today. This was great. And I really appreciate your sharing the humanness of being a light worker.
Absolutely. This human experience can be challenging, and that's why we need each other to support one another.
Great. Okay. Thank you, Karen. You take care.
Thank you.
And we are back. So Sharon, would you unmute yourself, and Karen, so we can have a little chat? And that was just amazing, Karen. I love you so much.
I kind of needed to hear it myself.
Yeah.
I was like, boy, she's pretty wise. That one, I wish I had watched that last week.
Karen, it was outstanding. I was following some of the comments. Terry, I'm sure you're going to get into that a little more. But just really a wealth of information. And I really like the web where everyone belongs, because in this Enlightened Women, Enlightened Youth Summit space that we're in, everyone belongs. All of the variety, all of the different colors, all the different ages. So I love that web that we're in.
the world I live in. It's the world it's the world I'm co-creating. It's the world. I don't go into the illusion anymore. I don't play in the game anymore. I'm really done with playing in the game. And yeah, I get sucked into the soup sometimes, and I get into the illusion of the separateness. But the truth is, I got you guys, and I got my sisters. I got my soul sisters here. That I got my incredible helpers who remind me when I do forget. There's almost always somebody who snaps me right back and helps me remember. And I don't go down the spiral anymore. I don't go down into that soup as much. If I get in the soup, I call Sharon, I call Terry. I want to tell everyone, please know that even if you do have the spiritual gifts that you have, the multisensory gifts that you have, there are so many people in this world who don't believe and have only 5 sensories because of their limiting beliefs. They don't believe in their multisensory gifts. Don't try to make them wrong for how they see the world. Just be your true self and love them where they are, and really give yourself a lot of self-compassion, because if you just give yourself a lot of self-compassion, that ripples out into your family, it ripples out into your community, it ripples out into the world. And we're always either adding love and light to the planet, or we're adding to the illusion of the separateness and disconnect. When somebody says, I can't connect with you, how does that feel?
Karen, in your video, when you talked about triggering compassion, I know a lot of us talk about the triggers that we have that trigger the pain or trigger the, conflict. And it is just really profound that you now have given us a solution to trigger the compassion. So thank you.
Just when like Terry does that beautiful all those beautiful connections of the heart. When I talk to the children, they love when misKindness comes in, because it's not me, it's not Karen, it's the energy of misKindness that they're attracted to. It's the mirror that they see in themselves, and they see me come in, and they see me sing, and they see me dance, and they go, I want to sing, I want to dance, I want to be happy, I want to be, and they just say, oh, I remember who I am when I'm around you. When somebody is holding up a flashcard and they're saying something about you that's not true, and you go down into the soup believing what they believe about you, then the universe has no other choice but to mirror what you believe about yourself. When we believe we don't deserve something, or we believe that we're not worthy of something, the universe is just like a photocopy machine. What we put on that photocopy machine is what we're going to see. And that's something that I forgot this past week. And I realized now how powerful, don't let anybody else's experience get in your hula hoop. You got your hula hoop? Play in that hula hoop. And don't let anybody in that hula hoop, that energy, that's your beautiful frequency. And when we get out of our frequency, when we lower our frequency to maybe fit in, or maybe just for a couple minutes try to connect with somebody who's on a lower frequency, it really doesn't work. You have to allow yourself to be who you are and where you are. And the people who are meant to be in that circle with you will be your circle of influence. And the people who are not in that vibration, it'll just start to fall away. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to be, just like the angels have said to me over and over again, we, are having this human experience. We as the human family that came here, as our beautiful global family that came here, our soul family, we're all love and light, just having this human experience. And if we just remembered that, we would have a different experience. But there are so many people on the planet who have totally forgot who they are and are playing this role of this victim or this entitlement or this righteousness, you know, or neediness. So when we have those four energies, I noticed this about myself when I had a very challenging experience coming up. I went right into victimhood. That was the first thing I started with. Then I moved into neediness. Oh, you got to listen to me. You got to listen to me. You got to listen to me. Then I went into entitlement and I landed on righteousness. But you can see that all four of those energies are our low self. They're not our best possible version of ourself. Those parts of ourself need acknowledgement, but they also don't need to be running the show. And so we can acknowledge them, and we can, what I encourage people to do for the most part is just really acknowledge where you are, and then acknowledge where the other person is, and have compassion for that person, even if they're being unkind. Even if you can't see, like, understand why they're doing what they're doing, just try to stay being kind, because they're just holding up a flashcard. And if you go into that vibration of believing what they're holding up, then you've forgotten who you are.
That's
And
so powerful, Karen. That's so powerful. Terry, I wonder if any of our listeners have commented about this beautiful story that Karen, not just a story, but specific things that we can think about to move through. Thank you, Karen. Terry?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm having to mute my audio because Gizmo decides he wants to join us today in force. Ruth Anderson, Dr. Ruth, we love you. She says, watching this video shows us how brilliant your light shines. Don't forget that, Karen, please. And Deb says, the energy of divine presence, which is everyone. Karen, you're reminding children what they are. Mara Rubin says, I love that, Karen Palmer. We're either adding to the love and light on the planet or adding to the illusion. And Deb says, thank you for what you do, Karen, spreading so much love, light, and kindness. And Myra says, you are indeed magnificently wise, Karen Palmer. And there's so many comments from people that are just loving you and loving your energy. You're so loved and so supported. And I just want to remind you of something, Karen. And this didn't come out in your video interview with Dr. Ruth, but I know the story behind your birthday wish. Can you share that wish with us? I would love for everybody to hear how you desired to have kindness really go viral.
Well, it was incredible because in 2014, my husband surprised me by taking me away for my birthday. And he flew out my best friend from Massachusetts, and my sister drove out from California. And we were sitting in this beautiful hotel, and they came over and they put the cake in front of me to make a wish, and put the candle in front of me and said, make a wish. And my heart was just so full. And I was like so grateful for all that I had co-created, all that I had manifested. And I made the wish. I wish that global kindness could go viral. I wish that I could help people learn how to use the tools that I'd learned how to use, so that I could also help people who were doing beautiful things in the world to really amplify the work that they were doing. And I had no idea how that was going to happen, but that's why I say let go of the how and be ready for the wow, because I didn't have any idea how it was going to happen. But that's when the astral traveling started. And, you know, I had visitations from Princess Diana, and I had visitations from Maya Angelou, and, you know, George Harrison from the Beatles started coming to me and saying that I was going to be bringing the mantras to the masses. This was in 2014 when I wasn't even recording anything. I hadn't had any idea of, like, I just made the wish. See, this is what it is though, when we set an intention, and this is why I keep reminding myself, my job is what I want and why I want it. The hows and the whos are the universe, the angels, and all the ascended masters and all our divine helpers. That's their job. It's not my job. And when I get wrapped up in my trying to find out how or who, that's when everything starts to crumble. And so, you know, I really encourage that everyone who's watching this, you know, get super clear on the specific of what they want and why they want it. And then let go of the how and be ready for a wow. You know, when you're in that vibration of being ready for wow, you'll see wow everywhere. And even though you're hurting and somebody may have said something that really hurts your heart, you'll find that there'll be other people out there that you will see all the wonders. You'll see in the tree, all of a sudden you'll notice there's a beautiful bird in the tree, or you'll take a moment and you'll see your own puppy dog just having a beautiful moment, just running around, or a kitty chasing after its tail, or your beautiful daughter or your son, you know, doing something kind for you or for somebody else, because, you know, because that's what it's all about, is really what every person on this planet is here to experience. What we came here to experience, what I was getting at, is we are love and light, just having this human experience. And we are going to have some amazing humanity challenges. And the challenge, the true challenge, is to stay in the love and the light, no matter how others are treating us. That is the lesson. I finally really hear it. It might have been the hardest one I probably have ever received. And I'm not sure exactly how it's going to play out. But I know in my heart that I am being true to me. And I see that flashcard that is being held up, and it's not true. It's not who I am. And so I don't have to eat that poison, as, you know, the beautiful Don Miguel says in the Four Agreements. I don't have to eat that poison. If somebody gives you poison and you don't eat it, you don't get sick. Somebody gives you a gift and you don't accept it, you don't have to open that present. If you don't want that gift, don't take it. This is what I'm saying.
Beautiful.
I love that.
Beautiful words. I just want to read this comment from Ruth real quick before we get into another chat with you. She says, Karen Palmer, your ministry is amazing. So vibrant, alive, compassionate, and loving. Thank you for sharing your love across the globe. I am honored to know you.
Did you let that sink in, Karen? Let that sink in for you, sweetie. Don't let those words just pass you. Let them really envelop you, because Terry has read so many gratitude, thank yous, accolades, appreciations for you. And sometimes as women, we want to just skip to the next thing when someone gives us a compliment or someone acknowledges what they've received from what we've shared. And I just want you in particular, my dear friend, and all of us to slow our cadence down. Let us really hear when someone acknowledges us. Let it wash over, because we're so quick to judge, and we're so quick to hear the bad things. Take that same moment to just hear the goodness that's coming to you.
Yeah, maybe you could read it again, Terry, a little bit slower, and I could be a little more open to receive.
Yes, let me scroll back to it. Okay. Let's just take a deep breath in, Karen. Karen Palmer, your ministry is amazing, so vibrant, alive, compassionate, and loving. Thank you for sharing your love across the globe. I am honored to know you, as am I.
And I.
Thank you so much. I really do receive that. I'm so incredibly grateful and honored and humbled to be in all of your presence. I know that we are all having this incredibly divine experience. And what a blessing to know that we can really count on each other, you know, in this human experience. The angels had said to me when I started the journey, and I started getting all these messages, and they were coming through so clear, and I was getting, you know, all of this, that my human self would need a little bit of integration time, that it would be, that they would be giving me messages, and that I would be sharing to billions of people. And I still know that's on its way. I can feel it so strong. And I trust, and I trust, and I feel and allow. And that's what I want to share, because you asked me if I could do something. I'd really like to share the angel song. And what you've asked for, maybe a way that we can really tune into the angels. This was a song the angels gave to me when I started channeling the angels and moving my physical body aside and allowing the angels to use my physical form. And then I did that with the children too. I didn't tell the children that I was Archangel Jophiel was coming in or Archangel Michael was coming in, but the energy of the angels is what the angels saw, and the children saw in Miss Kindness. And it's what everyone sees. You know, I am an angelic messenger. I have been my whole life. I'm just learning to this day. I'm still learning how to navigate that in this weird world that we live in. You know, I'm still, Virginia, I want to hear what she just said.
Yes,
I
do you want
see
me to read
you.
it?
I
Yes,
see you
Terry,
today, Karen, for the first time, and I see is beauty. I feel more beautiful and light today by seeing and hearing you. Oh, thank you, Virginia. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that. So when I was getting really busy and things were starting to get overwhelming, and I would just say to the angels, what do I do? How do I keep you in my mind? How do I keep you in my awakened heart? How do I experience you as my realized soul? How do I bring this into this experience? And that's what I said, you know, that I got the song. So I love to give myself a hug, because this is self-compassion. And whenever you feel scared, this is a mudra. It's actually a mudra. So whenever you feel scared, or you feel overwhelmed, or you feel frustrated by this human experience, just rock yourself really gently and sing. Be in my mind, my angels, as I wake, and shine on me throughout the day today. Let every moment be a time in which I dwell with you. And let me not forget my hourly thanksgiving that you have remained with me, and always will be there to hear my call and answer me with love. And as the night unfolds, we thank you now and forever. We are one love. Be in my heart, my angels, as I wake, and shine my love for all the world to see. Let every person know the love that shines within them too. And let us not forget what you have given, and always remain in love. For that is who we are. We know this now. Thank you for helping us. There are angels everywhere, angels who care. We know that you're there, and we always share. There are angels everywhere. Trust, feel, allow. Then you know how to connect with angels now. There are angels everywhere. We're your friends, we're everywhere. We know how much you care, and we're always there.
Oh, beautiful. And Karen, that is one of the daily angel prayers that Sherry Myers has.
That's our angel song.
Yes,
That's our angel song on myangelprayer.com, and you can get that on Alexa. Yep. I am one of the angel speakers on angelspeakers.com. I am. So you can pretty much find me anywhere you look for the angels. You'll pretty much see Miss Kindness. And that song, I have been able to convert that song into Kind Earth instead of angels that I sing to the children, Kind Earth. So we have that in our musical coloring books. And we call in the kindness with Archangel Michael, but they don't know it. You know, we say kindness to the left, kindness to the right, kindness above, kindness below, kindness be with us wherever we go. Kindness is the angels. Kindness is God. Kindness is the label that you call source. That's kindness. And that's why our world needs kindness so much. Oh, thank you, Maria. Thank you, Ivana.
And
Ruth says she could hear the angels singing along.
I can hear the angels singing along, and I think we all could. Thank you, Karen, for blessing us with your
I
beautiful
really needed
voice.
this morning. Thank you so much for my beautiful, beautiful co-hosts. And thank you everyone who has commented. And remember, this human experience can be challenging. And you may think you've got it hooked, and you may think you've got it mastered. And you do. You have it mastered, and you do have it mastered. But be gentle and kind with yourself when the emotions come up. Don't make the emotions wrong, just ride them like waves, and remind yourself that just like a wave in the ocean, this too shall pass. This energy will move on. Don't loop on it. Don't stay in it. Don't keep trying to catch that wave again. Just be gentle and kind with yourself. Call the angels in to support you, and reach out to your angelic friends, the earth angels who are here in this beautiful community that Ruth has really co-created with Archangel Michael and the Divine Mother. Now, the Divine Mother has been a big guide in all of the work that I've been doing with the children. And as I said, Lady Nada. And I feel so much more blessed by the experience of being here with all of you. So I just want to thank you all so much. Be kind to yourself. It's Self-Love Sunday. Be kind to yourself. If you're not feeling so good, just snuggle up with a nice blankie and your kitty, and snuggle up with a cup of tea. If you are feeling good, go out and share it, go out and shine, go out and skip around, let people know that you're feeling really good. And don't be hard on yourself for how you feel, because like the angels said, we get to feel. We came here to have all of the experience of polarity and duality. And if we are in the low vibration of scarcity and lack, then that is what we're going to see. We're going to see that vibration mirrored back to us. Just remember, wait, what am I thinking? And remember, stop. Self take over. And remember that when you are thinking something, wait, what am I thinking? Do I want more of that? What we think about, we bring about. So we have to really pay attention to, what are we putting on that photocopy machine? What do we believe about ourselves? Because the people in your circle are only mirrors of what you believe about yourself. Absolutely. And clean up that vibration, clean up that feeling of unworthiness, clean up that feeling of unlovable, clean up that feeling, because people can only do what you are mirroring out into the world.
Thank you, Karen. Terry?
Beautiful, beautiful words. Yeah, we're coming up to the end of the broadcast because I do have to get going soon. Karen, I just so appreciate you today. The message that you put out is phenomenal. You're an amazing woman, and I hope that everyone connects with you if they haven't yet. And I know that the information has been typed in the comments of how to reach out to Karen. Please do so. I've known Karen for a few years now. We co-created many things together, and just you've been a blessing in my life. So I just want to thank you.
Anytime, anybody who would like help with amplifying their work and help them with social media or help them with, any of their projects that they have going on, I'm honored to help. And I really have become pretty much an expert in all of those fields. And I have like a Rolodex of incredible people who have helped me along the way. And so if I don't have the answer, I can point you in the direction. And I would be humbled and honored to help anyone in this community.
Absolutely. Well, this is our first of 2 video interviews today, and I hope you will all tune in tonight. It's 7 Mountain Time, 9 Eastern Time, and the beautiful Carol Ann Cross will be on to share her brilliance. Ruth will be there tonight for that interview, as well as Jeb Goldberg. So please come back and tune in for that one. And Sharon, did you have any words before we close today?
I love this group, and I'm such an honor to be here. Thank you, Ruth, for letting me stand in for you, and I'm glad you're going to be well to be here tonight. Everyone have a beautiful, magnificent day.
Yes. Bye, Karen. I love you so much. And I
Bye,
love
Karen.
you, Sharon.
Everybody.
Bye,
Bye, Terry.
everybody.
Remember, do something kind every day. Bye.